Okay there. So I thought today we should spend some time talking about Google Drive. Google Drive is Google's online storage system. Consider it like a virtual flash drive where everything is stored up in the cloud so you can access it from any point you have internet access to. So you put a file up there, you don't have to worry about remembering to bring the flash drive to school because when you get to school, you can just pull that file right back down out of Drive or even run it out of Drive entirely so you don't have to pull it down onto your computer at all. So let's go ahead and get started. This will be a real quick video. I'm going to show you all my screen. All right, first off, notice that the website is drive.google.com. This other stuff, that'll just fill in automatically. Now, I'm suggesting you do this with your school-approved Google Drive uh, because that's where you're going to be pulling information from for your school's Google Classroom and for everything else. And you can literally store, say, a Google Doc in here, or a Google Slideshow, or a Google Form, and then add it to your classroom directly from here. You don't have to download and then re-upload or anything like that. You just add it straight from here, which is nice because then if you ever update the original file here, it automatically updates everywhere else. So you've got your normal stuff here. I've got folders. I scroll a little further down. I've got documents, slideshows, PDFs, pictures. I got a couple of forms I've been working on. Now, don't follow my example. Mine is a little bit less organized than it really should be. No, most of the time I really only work up in these first 3 folders past couple of days. I do try to keep individual information for each year in each folder that for that specific year. So couple of things. This button right here, My Drive. Let's say I am 3 folders deep in my drive. Instead of clicking here, which I could also click here if I wanted to. All right. So let's talk about how to add something to this drive. If you go up here to the left and you see that big multicolored cross button, click it. All right. And you can add a folder. You can upload a file. And that works just like with an email. You search for it on your computer and it uploads. You can upload an entire folder if you have something already previously organized that you've been keeping on your thumb drive for a while. You can add a Google Doc. Now, one of the nice things about adding Google Docs, Sheets, Slides, and everything else that comes with Google is that it doesn't add to the total storage that you are limited by. Now, since I have a school account, I'm not really limited by my storage here, but on my personal account, I'm limited to 15 gigabytes. And so anytime I need to type up a document, I do it in Google so it doesn't add to the total amount of data I'm using, total amount of space that I'm using. All right. Now this is going to be real quick. So I've added these folders. I put a plus sign in front of them to make them alphabetized to the top of the screen. Makes it easier for me to find. If I just double click inside this folder, I have added more folders. This is the book I'm working out of right now. And then I've got level 1, level 2, and more information. And then if I go inside book 1, you can see you can add layers of folders to keep yourself fairly organized. So like when the year starts, we're going to start with Lección Preliminar. And if I open that up, I've got the lessons divided into each day. And if I open up one of those days, I've got all the materials that I use for that day. And that's pretty much the gist of the basics of Google Drive. I do plan on making a video later on about like how to share things from Drive directly to other people. But if you're going to work in Google Docs, I recommend just making a habit of working it out of Google Drive, because then you can automatically organize things by saying, okay, I'm going to make this new document in this particular folder. That way it stays a little bit better organized, a little bit easier to find. One other thing real quick to show, searching Drive. If I do that, I can search for, say, a test and see what comes up. I can search for an exam, see what comes up. I can even search, if you look down here, files that I have access to that are made by different people, because you can share files in Google. I make a video on that. And you can also search for different file types that are available in your Google Drive. And we'll also go over what the advanced storage is later. So this is a real brief introduction to Google Drive. Be looking forward to more information to come out later on. Thank you. Have a nice day.